Not all the older women, not Ashley, all wanting the same man. Oh, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna get interesting now. Super interesting. What's up, everybody? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is TammyTalks. We're here for another recap and review of Love Hotel. This is the first season, episode 2, Three's a Crowd. If you guys are brand new to the channel and you enjoy this type of content, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up the video, leave your comments down below. We're on the road to 40,000 subs. So if you have not yet subscribed, do me a solid, hit that subscribe button. Let's talk about the episode, y'all. So we pick up this morning. We always get like quick clip scenes of the ladies either engaging with one of the guys or like Gizelle eating some cereal in her suite alone. Okay. So we get down to breakfast where everyone is, and Mark said that Gerry pressed him at the pool for asking Luann to do yoga. I said, y'all beefing? Isn't it like the third day? So here's the thing. We know that Gerry got super. Was it Gerry? Yes. We know that Gerry got super attached to Luann, right? Even though their date didn't go well. We saw it. You spilled champagne on her. Like, you seem very set in what you want to do. You're a surfer over in California. She's a New York City girl. Y'all were not going to work anyways, Gerry. And y'all can date freely. She ain't got to tell you who she dates. You can't go around and tell the men who they can and can't ask out. So I thought this was so cute that these older men are getting so attached so soon. So Gizelle comes down ready to be messy. Ready to be messy. She said, Potomac or not, I'm going to get right to the shits. So she's ready to, talk about the interaction because she was in the pool when Gerry pressed Mark, right? So Gerry comes in as they're talking about it. And he was like, "You talking about me?" It was a cute scene, but I said, "Ooh, this show might turn messy," and I didn't think it was gonna be. But I think it's gonna be some stuff. So Joel comes in. We know the host, who is very much giving fan of the Housewives, but that's fine. So Joel comes in and tells the group that today is a group date. So the ladies are gonna be able to ask out two of the men. Now, if one of the guys is asked out by two or more of the women, then he gets to decide who he wants to go on a date with. I said, "Oh, that's messy." And they're doing it in public, right? So Shannon immediately was like, "Okay, Ralph and Jay." Now, she likes Ralph, right? She wants Jay so that she can talk up Gizelle to Jay because she wants them to be together. And I'm like, Earl is sitting right there. Earl is your ace. But okay, Earl took it in stride, but like, girl, nobody wants you there but Earl. So stick with who likes you. Ashley picks Nick and Gerry. Um, I don't know why she picked Gerry, but she picks Nick and Gerry. Nick was excited. Wale kind of knows that he's good with Ashley, but he's still a little nervous. Ashley's reasoning is if I go and pick Wale, she's not going to be able to pay attention to any of the other guys that are there. So I get that. Luann picks Mark and Ralph, and I said, that's two of them, Ralph. So that means that Ralph is going to decide who he gets to go on a date with. Jazelle picks Phil and Ralph. I said, Ralph. Now, Ralph is a very, very handsome older man. He exudes just grown man, right? You like, yes. So I was like, this is fun. So Ralph has 3 dates. He was like, I'm honored and also like, this is uncomfortable for me. So they tell Ralph, you have to make a decision. Who are you going to go on the date with? So Ralph picks Gizelle. He says she's gorgeous. He likes her vibe. Her eyes are mesmerizing. And you can tell over in the cut, Shannon is seething. Shannon is seething. Shannon is trying to keep her cool with it, but she's pissed. Because I would be pissed too. I picked him first. I picked him first, and then y'all come in and y'all pick him, and not only do y'all pick him, but he picks y'all back. So Shannon was like, fine, I'll take Earl. And then Wale is left, and so Wale is gonna go with Luann. And Luann is like, that's cool because now I can talk up Ashley to Wale. So they're outside, and the date is not even like a real date, right? They are all sitting in this big area and they're having food and drinks and they're just talking, and you're just sitting in your respective area with your two dates. That's all it was. So Wale is getting him some food. They had like mango on a stick. He takes a bite of the mango, and Luann was like, you got some mango on your lips, and tries to kiss it off. I hollered. Luann tried to kiss the mango off that man's lips, and Wale was like, don't do that. One, he didn't want Ashley to see, and two, he didn't want her to kiss him. Nothing wrong with that. But I was like, Luann, girl, have you some cool? What is I hollered at that. So let's get to their individual dates. I'm gonna do the women's dates kind of one by one. So starting with Gizelle, because they showed her first. Gizelle said that her ideal man is nice and attractive. He's funny, and she wants her man to be able to make her laugh. She doesn't want you to take yourself too serious. Now, initially, I said both of these men were far too mature for Gizelle, but we do know that I think that Gizelle does have a very serious side of her. She can be mature. She can carry herself as such. But I think deep down, Gizelle likes to have fun. So she likes to laugh and yuck it up. So she asked them, where they're from, where they live, all that type of stuff. Phil got money. Phil said, I have more. My house is in Bel Air, and then my second home is in Scottsdale. I said, oh. Okay. So she asked him if they've ever dated a black woman. And Ralph said yes right away. Phil said, well, I'm black. Gizelle said, yeah, but there are black men that do not date black women. And Phil was like, I don't know any of those men. Look, we all know a nigga that don't date white women. We all do. We all do, or that don't date black women. We all do. But Phil was like, no, and Gizelle was like, I'm just trying to figure it out. So Phil said, even though Jay is super nice, but he feels familiar. He feels like somebody that she has dated before in the past, and it didn't go past the third date. They don't really have chemistry, and I think it's because Gizelle is not loosening up with him. Gizelle is not relaxing around him. She's not giving herself the opportunity to really like connect with and like Jay. Okay. So we pan over to Luann. So Luann likes Mark, but she feels that he is just trying to play around, and because of that, she's trying to, keep him at arm's length. So she has Wale write Ashley a note to take over to her. Like, Luann, you wasted your dates. You did. We pan over to Shannon, and Earl is talking about how when he got a divorce, he was not able to see his stepson anymore, and he told the little boy when he was 5 or something like that, that he had a motorcycle and he was going to keep a motorcycle for him and he could come get it anytime he wants. And the little boy has not come to get it. I like Earl, okay, but I feel like Earl trauma dumps a lot. I feel like every time we see something about Earl is talking about something painful in his life or in his past. Okay. So later they are walking back over to he's walking um Earl and Shannon, he's walking her back to her room because she's going to show him her view and that type of stuff. And they make sure to stop in front of the lounge and he kisses her so everybody can see. And he was like, everybody didn't see the first kiss. They going to see the second kiss, damn it. I said, Earl is precious. I just feel like Earl just got some trauma. So Ashley's on her date with Nick and Gerry, and she asked them if they have ever dated a black woman. And Nick says right away he had, or excuse me, Gerry says right away he has, but Nick is like, a black one, a black woman, yeah. You ever dated a black woman, Nick? Nick couldn't answer, and that told me everything that I needed to know. The answer is no. So Nick is asking um her, Ashley, have you ever dated a white man? I feel like that's all Ashley has ever dated. I don't think Ashley has ever dated a black man. Well, we don't know that for sure, but in terms of the show, Ashley is always with a white man. So she kind of laughs in his face. She's like, well, my ex-husband was white, Australian, white. And then Lil Jack Harlow is white. And then the other guy from Summer House was white. Yeah. And she was like, it's just interesting because I've never had somebody like not know my dating history. Not too much dip on your chip, Ashley. Let's not act like you were really a celebrity out here. Everybody don't know your ass, okay? So Nick is asking Ashley, why didn't you pick Wale? As he's asking her, Wale walks over and hands her his note. Nick looks pissed because, like, what are you doing? Ashley is like, should I look at it now or later? Wale was like, it's your choice, real smooth, and he walks away. So Ashley opens it, reads it, and starts laughing right away. And it was basically him just saying, like, you're a great gym buddy. We had fun this morning. I miss you, whatever the case. It was cute. It was very suave. It's gonna go a long way, I'm certain. So Nick is telling Ashley that he would love a one-on-one with her. And Ashley is like, okay, when? And he's like, I don't know. Nick, like, here's the thing. Even though the women are ultimately in control, you still have to, like, court her, right? If you want a one-on-one with her, then say, Ashley, yo, I want to have a date with you. Can we meet up tomorrow morning for breakfast? Can we hang out at the pool at noon? There are ways you can do that that's not going to, like, completely disrupt the process. So Ashley is like, do you want to go talk to the side now? And he's like, yeah. And Ashley even tells him, Nick, you could have done this. All you had to do was say this. So they end up talking about Bitcoin. And I'm like, okay. So Nick is walking Ashley back to her room for the night. And Ashley was loud in the hallway. So Gizelle opens the door and was like, I thought you were in trouble. You were talking loud. Go to bed, Jazelle. So then Shannon opens her door. Then Luann opens the door. And so Nick was like, okay, all the housewives are cock blocking me. So I'm just going to go to bed. Whatever. So the next morning, the ladies are all dressed alike. They want to have a little fun, so they're all dressed alike, and it's cute or whatever. And they talk about finances. And Gizelle is saying whether or not the ladies have like a particular financial goal with these men. And Shannon, I think it was either Shannon or Luann, was like, we're not saying that we're out looking solely for money, but they do want these men to be able to keep up with their lifestyles, right? So they asked Shannon if she thinks that Earl can keep up with her. And she was like, I don't know. I don't know if he can afford my lifestyle. So I think it was Luann was like, are you okay living in a ranch? Now Shannon didn't know what a ranch style house was, and that told me that no, Earl is not going to be the man for you because Earl seems like a very simple guy, and there's nothing wrong with that. But Earl seems like a very simple guy, very humble, very chill, very laid back. He's not with all the fancy stuff. So this is gonna be interesting to see how this pans out. I hope Earl doesn't get his feelings hurt because he does seem like a really nice and sweet guy. So everybody meets up with Joel and he lets them know that there are new guys that will be joining the group. Because there are going to be new guys, they need to get rid of some of the guys that are here right now so we can make some room in the Love Hotel. So each of the ladies get a key. With their key, they can give the key to one of the guys that they want to save. That guy is safe and will survive another night in the Love Hotel. So Luann is like, well, I'm going to give it to Ralph because he's tall. I said, oh, girl. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, Luann. Now, I guess she didn't want to do Gerry. She didn't want... Okay, so everybody is so Gizelle and Shannon are kind of looking because they like Ralph's ass too. So Shannon decides to save Earl, which you should have. Ashley obviously saves Wale. Gizelle is saying how hard this is for her. Be vulnerable, Gizelle. Open up. It's okay. You can still be the ice queen that you are on Potomac. It's okay. No one's gonna look at you any less. Excuse me. So Gizelle picks Jay, but she's like, "Well, I was going to pick Ralph, but he's already there, so I'm gonna pick you, Jay." Damn. And Jay was like, "How am I supposed to feel about that? How am I supposed to feel about that?" And he kept saying it over and over and over. Feel grateful that your ass has another chance to talk to her since you like her. You keep saying that you're here solely for Gizelle. Win her over. But I think it would have like, yes, it was kind of rude the way that Gizelle said it. However, if you like her and you said you're only there for her, you keep saying over and over, "How should I feel? How should I feel?" That would irritate me if I was Gizelle. It would, because be grateful that your ass is still here. Nonetheless, so Joe said, "I have a final key for you guys. So you guys get to keep one final guy." So the ladies get together and they're like, "We got to deliberate over to the side." So the remaining guys, before they go to the side to discuss, the remaining guys get the opportunity to plead their case. Gerry starts off by calling Luann Leanne. So clearly you out, sir. Mark said that he knows he needs to be more aggressive. Nick said that it was a blessing to meet Ashley. So Nick knows that he's not getting saved. And then Phil said that he just hasn't had the opportunity to share many moments with the ladies. And he hopes that he gets that. So the ladies deliberate, and it sounded like, was it Luann wanted to keep Mark? If you wanted to keep Mark, you should have kept Mark, Luann. You picked Ralph. So the ladies all pick Phil, and Gizelle is saying how she wants to get to know Phil. She's intrigued by Phil. She wants to see how big Phil's house is. But that was the episode. So Gerry, Mark, and Nick are out. So we're gonna get some new guys that are gonna join the hotel next week. This is such a cute show. What I hope happens is that they keep it in the Bravo universe and they rotate in some more people. I mean, I guess they can keep it all Housewives, but I hope they rotate in and do another season of this, because this was such a cute little show. So let me know what you guys thought about it. If you have not already, subscribe to the show. Thumbs up the video. Leave your comments down below. How do you feel about who the ladies are picked to keep? Who do you want to see the ladies with? Let's talk about it down below. Peace.